Hey, folks, welcome to Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
AFA, where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you have forgotten what that is,
How could you forget?
AFA, I know, how could you forget? If you're joining us every morning, we're going to remind you, AFA is absolutely fucking amazing.
And that's what you are.
That's what you are. And Mark reminds me of that every day.
Every day. You need to be reminded. The world it kind of just gives you a whole bunch of bullshit and you forget how absolutely amazing you really, truly are. And we'll remind you every day.
We'll remind you.
Our job.
It's our job. It's a really good way to start the day. A day of daily dose of positivity.
Yeah. So today is Thursday, December 17th, 2020. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm starting to think I should probably buy some Christmas presents for my loved ones. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little bit of pressure. I'm going to get shopping soon, but it's the 17th. So let's start off with a little bit of daily love. Today, Sherry, I pulled a reading from Dr. Wayne Dyer's You Are What You Think. And today's was about hatred. Ooh. And he went over a litany of things. He says, first we're told to hate the Japanese and the Germans and then the Koreans and the Vietnamese. And then we're told we have to hate the Iranians. And then 10 years later, we're told we should love the Iranians. But then it's the Iraqis we should hate. And we should love the insurgents, but then the insurgents are the ones we're supposed to hate. And then the Taliban, and it goes on and on and on. And at the end of the day, his message was, it's the hatred that's the enemy. It is.
It truly, I mean.
And you could bring it down into what we're dealing with today. Am I supposed to love liberals or am I supposed to love conservatives? Do I love Republicans or do I love Democrats? Do I love gay people? Do I love straight people? Who am I supposed to love? Who am I supposed to hate? Guess what? I can love everybody. That's the message. I can love everybody because we're all humans and it's all illusionary bullshit anyway. Made up stories.
Well, just think about this too. Think about how do we love ourselves truly, right?
Bingo. Down to the ball. It's funny. I was, I do multiple readings, Sherry, and so I picked that one from Wayne Dyer, but the other one from the Daily Word today was about loving yourself first. Yeah.
Putting the oxygen mask on first. So that way we're able to help others. Oftentimes when I see someone that is mistreating someone else, my thought process shifts to, do they love themselves? How are they treating themselves in private? And I mean, if they are, expressing hatred or dislike or negativity to someone else, I can't even imagine the self-talk that is going on in their own head for them to even consider having that. So
you nailed it. At the end of the day, it's about loving yourself. If you can get past all of the shit that you accumulate, all the stories from parents and friends of people you meet and all that stuff that gets layered on, and get back to the fact that you are absolutely amazing and you can love yourself, the world opens up.
Yeah. The other thing too, which is really interesting,
is
when we look at feelings and emotions, and we talked about this a lot of, in some of our other past shows about the polarity, the opposite of hate is love. And truly, when you think about hate, really, what is it? It is an expression of fear.
Totally. Right. So those are the two emotions. Thanks for bringing that up. It's the two emotions are the polar opposites, love and fear. Everything else stems from that. Yeah. It's either you're in love or you're in fear. If you're in fear, that's where all of that hatred comes from. And all the separation between people comes from is because of fear at the root.
Exactly. So when someone's, poking the finger, poking the bear, doing something that doesn't feel good, you need to stop and ask the question, what are you afraid of?
Right.
Truly.
Right.
And so what is the opposite of fear? The opposite of fear is love, for sure. We're so swami here in the morning.
Swami. Full of love.
Full of love.
Oh, yeah.
So, word of the day. Mark.
Oh boy. My word of the day is plow. I'm going to plow through this day. Now that we've got snow on the ground, I'm going to plow through this day because, I've been feeling a little under the weather the last few days. I know we talk about rest being important. I've been resting, you know what? But I need to be in action and plow through, get some stuff done. And it's okay.
It's okay.
And time to rest. I take time to really plow through it.
And I'm really happy that you're taking the reins on the plowing today because my word of the day, you ready?
Yeah.
Is snuggle.
There you go. Right? You only have two things in life, folks: plowing and snuggling. Where are you coming from? I like that.
I
reserve the right to snuggle after I plow through.
Right.
Yeah.
So I looked at today, it's a snow day. Some of my fondest memories are with my kids and even with myself on snow days of, just having music going, lots of hot chocolate, the laundry going the whole time because the kids are going outside and just, having, creating an atmosphere in the home that feels snuggly and warm, when the weather outside is frightful. And what kind of environment can we cultivate in our homes when we're going through these trying times, and especially on the snow day? So I was really happy to see that a lot of schools said, stay home, have fun, no online, let's be a kid again. And so I'm going to look at that opportunity. I do have some work to do today, but I am going to take the time to snuggle up and, totally remember what it's like to be a kid, get into that playful state.
And that's awesome.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we only have this day, right, Sherry? And what do? We make it the best day ever. And if that means going outside and building a snowman, right on.
Right on. Snowman. And if any of you are out there building snowmen, please send us pictures, especially if you're going to decorate them.
Your snowman. It's really good snow where I'm at in Massachusetts. It's really good snowman snow. Like you can build an epic snowman today.
An epic snowman.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure. So today is Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday, where we like to talk a little bit about what's gone on in history.
Yep.
And today we want to remember Charlotte Figi. We're going to talk about the history of cannabis and epilepsy just a little bit, but we want to talk a little bit about, she's very famous. Charlotte Figi was a little girl who died in April of this year at the age of 13 years old. She had her first seizure at 3 years old. She was diagnosed with Dravet syndrome. Her parents turned to cannabis as a last resort when other drugs had failed. And some forms of epilepsy, such as Charlotte's, were resistant to traditional treatment due to the reduction in the brain inhibition. And CBD helped to restore this. So just imagine.
Yeah. And Sherry, I just want to butt in real quick. When we talk about this, if you haven't had experience with epilepsy at this level, you really don't understand that this is life-threatening. Like the child cannot thrive. So it's failure to thrive is the medical term, right? Because they're having so many seizures moment after moment after moment. Think about it. You can't eat, you can't function, you just can't, it just takes over your whole life. And it's super, super serious. And I don't think, at least for me, not having that in my life, it's kind of easy to say, yeah, epilepsy, whatever. No, this is a serious life-threatening condition. And her parents were able to find that CBD helped. And it was really, they took that to the streets, right? They were really the ones to champion this.
They were. So just think about this. Okay. This is how, seizures, just imagine, I just look at it, that image that they say, your brain on drugs with a fried egg. That's what an epileptic child's brain looks like.
I love fried eggs, by the way.
Well, it is. Just think about it. Fried eggs. So
that was my brain.
When I think of epilepsy, when they show those things, oh, this is your brain on drugs. I'm like, no, this is your brain when you're having epileptic seizures. You went out from having over 300 seizures a week.
Oh my gosh.
Right? 300 to one a week. That's huge.
Life changing.
So, interesting, her story. So she met a group of brothers who bred a special strain that can classified as hemp because of its high CBD, low THC. So a lot of times when we educate on the difference between hemp and cannabis. And this particular strain was bred over time to hemp status. And Charlotte's Web was amazing. It was an amazing product that truly helped her and helped other people. And as a matter of fact, Charlotte's Web was the very first CBD product that I tried, which was very interesting.
Yeah.
So she was a pretty, she and her family, they were really, really, really pivotal in helping to get CBD out there in the story. Who was it?
Yeah. And here's a little nugget. Well, even though it's not Tuesday and with the nugs and the hugs, I'll give you a nugget. I was at a conference in Israel, and Raphael Mushalem was speaking. And he said something that just blew me away. He said that in 1980, he completed a study that proved conclusively that CBD was effective against epilepsy. In 1980, he completed this study, and the medical community said, not interested. Imagine 1980. That. 1980 up until 2012, when we really started to see CBD thrown out there because of Charlotte and her family, right?
Yep.
1980 till 2012, the medical community said, nah, not interested.
Yeah. And then we want to thank Sanjay Gupta. He's the chief medical correspondent at CNN. And so he basically had her on and did a documentary. And basically, her and her family were part of this multi-documentary where they were able to demonstrate what this plant did for this little girl and how it improved the quality of her life. So she changed minds globally. So we want to give tribute to Charlotte. She changed in her family, and for the Charlotte's Web, for the brothers who created the strain for her. So she changed minds globally just by living her life that was transformed by medical cannabis. Can you imagine having a child that has more than 300 seizures in a week, knowing that one of them could cause death, and then to realize that a plant that you have been taught to fear was the only thing that offered relief? Pretty powerful. So what did she also do? She shifted perception consciousness, and brought hope. That's what we're doing here, to bring hope for change to patients across the globe. Really powerful. And I really love too how she legitimized medical cannabis and has forced the world to pay attention.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, and it's changing the stigma. And it's just sad. And there was a big, huge rumor too that went around that she died of COVID, and that's not simply the truth. She ended up getting a pneumonia, and the pneumonia ended up causing her seizures to come back in full force, and that's what she died of. Yeah, very sad. So tomorrow we're going to go a little bit further into epilepsy and how it works. We want to talk about the endocannabinoid system and how it's an on-off switch. So very similar to our whole body, the brain needs to be in balance, just as our whole body does.
Right.
And the brain is a balance between exciting and inhibiting. So it's like on, off, on, off, on, off.
Like a light switch. Circuit on, circuit off.
Exactly. So we're going to
feeling sad. Yeah. That's a circuit, Sherry. That's a neuronal circuit that's been turned on. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Need the balance.
Need the balance. So in epilepsy, that balance tips towards excessive excitation that causes seizures. So tomorrow we're going to talk a lot about how cannabis helps those with epilepsy, that restores the brain back to balance, and how it helps a lot of other symptoms. Tomorrow we're going to touch on that a little bit, but today was truly about remembering Charlotte Figi and giving gratitude to her family,
love to her and her family,
and all of the people that helped. So if you or someone you love is suffering from chronic illness, chronic pain, or if someone in your life is looking to learn how to incorporate cannabinoids into a healthy regimen, lifestyle regimen, or if you're new to cannabis and you want to learn how to have an experience, contact us at www.thegreennurse.com. And while supplies last, Nurse Mark is offering a free bottle of CBD for every appointment that is booked. Thank you, Nurse Mark.
Yeah, happy to do it. And if you're a provider, if you're a healthcare provider anywhere in the spectrum, we're talking if you're helping people be healthy in any way, and you want to learn more about how to add cannabis coaching, about how to help people utilize this plant in a healthy way in their lives, join us at thegreennurse.com. We have community. We have a mentoring program that is specifically built to help you be successful in that endeavor. And our goal really is to help the world heal using this plant and all of the other modalities that are associated with keeping your endocannabinoid system humming right along.
Humming, absolutely. And Mark, what kind of a day are we going to have today?
An AFA day, plowing along and snuggling up. So what kind of a life is that, Sherry?
Oh, it is an absolutely fucking amazing life.
Yeah. And
remember, everyone, truly, what is it all about? It's about living your best life.
All right, everybody, have an AFA day, and we'll see you tomorrow.